The FaceTime rang for the third time before I answered. "Ione," my mother said, breathless, the camera shaking. "This isn't working." Behind her, the living room was chaos. One baby crying, the twins shouting over each other, someone yelling about spilled juice. "You said you'd be here by noon," she added, her voice dropping, already sharpening into blame. I watched her carefully. "I never said that." Her eyes flicked away from the screen. "Everyone's already here. Your sister's in the shower. Your brother just left to grab food. I can't do this alone. I didn't raise my voice. You planned it without asking me." She laughed, thin and brittle. "Don't do this right now. It's Christmas." I ended the call before she could say my name again. The story in the video is a creative work by Revenge World. All characters and events are fictional, crafted to convey a humanistic message and the values of family. My phone buzzed immediately. Missed call, then another. I turned it face down and let the silence stretch. If you've ever been the one everyone leans on without checking if you can stand, stay with me. What happened next didn't start with anger. It started with me finally choosing not to fix what I didn't break. I didn't become the dependable one on purpose. It just happened quietly, the way labels always do when no one argues back. "You're so good with kids," my mother used to say whenever someone needed help. Not asking, telling. "You don't mind." "Right," my sister would add later, already handing me a diaper bag. My brother never even pretended. "Mom said you've got it covered." At first, I corrected them. "I have work. You can do it later." My mother replied, calm and final. Over time, I learned which protests were ignored and which ones were punished. Saying no never ended the conversation. It just changed the tone. "You've always been the strong one," she'd say, like strength meant unlimited availability. "You don't have kids yet," she added, as if that made my time provisional. Every holiday followed the same pattern. Plans were announced, expectations were set. I was placed exactly where I always landed between obligation and silence. Once. I tried again. I already made plans. She paused, then sighed. "Well, that's disappointing. Disappointing. Not impossible. Not unfair. Just inconvenient." So I learned to nod, to rearrange, to absorb the pressure before it reached anyone else. They called it reliability. I started to recognize it as something else entirely. By the time this Christmas arrived, my role was so ingrained that no one thought to check if I still fit inside it. My mother called 2.5 weeks before Christmas, right as I was closing my laptop after a late meeting. "Ione," she said brightly. Too brightly. Perfect timing. "I've finalized Christmas." My stomach tightened. Finalized what? "The plan," she replied. "Everyone's coming earlier this year. Your sister's bringing the twins and the baby. Your brother's bringing his little one. We thought you could stay from December 23rd through December 26th and watch the kids while we host." She said it in one smooth sentence, like she was reading from a checklist. "I already told you," I said carefully. "I booked a trip. I've had it scheduled since summer." There was a pause, then a soft laugh. "That's not set in stone." "It is." I said, "It's non-refundable, and I need the time." "You can rest later," she replied, her voice firming. "This is family." I felt something shift. "You didn't ask me." "Ione," she said, lowering her tone. "Everyone's exhausted. You're the only one without kids. You understand how hard this is for us." "For you," I corrected. She ignored that. "It's only 4 children. You've handled more. That doesn't make it okay." Another pause. Longer this time. "So, you're saying no, I'm saying I need to think," I said. My hands were shaking. She exhaled sharply. "Don't overcomplicate this. You know what the right thing is." When the call ended, the room felt too quiet. I stared at my phone, waiting for the familiar guilt to rush in and rearrange my life for me. It didn't. People think silence is weakness. In my family, it was survival. The first time I ever said no, I was 21. I can't watch the kids this weekend. I told my mother. I have an interview. She didn't argue. She called my aunt instead. By Sunday night, my phone was full. You've changed. My aunt said. Family comes first. Someone else added. My mother didn't raise her voice at all. She just said, I didn't raise you to be like this. I went to the interview distracted and apologetic, already planning how to make it up to everyone. Another time, years later, I said no again. I already booked the time off. I told her, I need the break. Her voice turned cold. So you're choosing yourself over us? After that call, my sister stopped answering my texts for weeks. My brother told me I was being dramatic. At the next holiday dinner, no one mentioned it, but everything felt tight and watchful, like I was being measured. Eventually, I learned the pattern. Saying no didn't end requests. It triggered consequences. You're being difficult, my mother would say, calm but cutting. We don't ask much of you, she'd add, as if that erased the years. You don't understand responsibility yet. Each time, I folded. I canceled plans. I rearranged my life. And they relaxed because the problem had been fixed. So when she asked about Christmas this time, my hesitation wasn't confusion. It was memory. It was knowing exactly what would happen if I refused too clearly, too early. Silence, I learned, was the only way to delay the punishment, until it wasn't. The family group chat lit up 3 days later. My mother posted first. Everything's handled, she wrote. Ione will be with the kids so we can focus on hosting. I stared at the screen. I read it again, then a third time. I hadn't agreed to anything. My sister reacted immediately. Oh, thank God. I really needed that break. My brother followed. Perfect. We already made reservations. Reservations. Plural. I typed, then erased. Typed again. My fingers hovered while the conversation rolled on without me. You're a lifesaver, my sister added. We'd be lost without you, my mother wrote, sealing it. No one asked if I was okay with it. No one checked. My hesitation had been rewritten into consent. I finally texted my mother privately. I never said yes. Her response came fast. You didn't say no. That's not the same thing. She waited longer this time. Ione, people are counting on this. It's too late to change plans. Too late, because she had decided it was... In the group chat, my brother wrote, So pickup is at 10. My sister replied, We'll drop off the diaper bags tonight. I felt something cold settle in my chest. This wasn't a misunderstanding. It was a decision they made for me and then built around. My name kept appearing, tagged and thanked, like I was already there, already holding everything together. I set the phone down without responding. For the first time, I didn't rush to correct the story they were telling about me. I let the lie stand. I called Solène that night. She answered on the first ring. They told everyone I agreed. I said, They're planning drop-off times. She didn't gasp or soften her voice. Did you agree? No. Then they lied. I didn't correct it. I admitted. I just froze. There was a pause. Then she said, evenly, If you show up now, this becomes permanent. I pressed my thumb into the edge of the table. They'll say I blindsided them. They blindside you every year. She replied, You just absorb it so no one else has to. I don't want to hurt anyone. You're not hurting them. Solène said, You're refusing to cover for them. Her words landed harder than anger ever had. So what do I do? Stop explaining, she said. Stop warning them. They never warn you. After we hung up, I opened my laptop. My trip details were still there, untouched. Hilton Head Island, December 24th through December 28th. Approved time off, non-refundable. I clicked confirm on a small upgrade. Not luxury, privacy. My phone buzzed again. Another message in the group chat. Another assumption made in my name. I closed the laptop and let the silence settle. For the first time, I wasn't figuring out how to fit myself back into their plans. I was stepping out of them. By the time my family started unloading car seats and gift bags, I was already past security. My phone buzzed as I waited to board. "Where are you?" My mother texted. "You're late." My sister added a moment later. I didn't answer. Not yet. I sent one message to my mother instead, private and precise. "I never agreed to watch the kids this year. I told you I had plans. I'm out of town." The reply came instantly. "What do you mean out of town?" I attached my boarding pass and a photo of my suitcase at the gate. The timestamp did the talking for me. "You can't do this now." She wrote, "Everyone's already here." "That's because you told them I would be." I replied, "Not because I agreed." My phone started ringing. I let it ring. Then again. I turned it face down. In the group chat, confusion spread. "Wait. Ione isn't coming." My brother wrote, "Mom, you said she promised." My sister added. My name appeared again and again, tagged like an accusation. I typed once, then erased it. Typed again. Then I sent one message to everyone. "I'm not a built-in babysitter. I told Mom weeks ago I had other plans. I'm keeping them. No apologies, no explanations." The boarding announcement cut through the noise. I stood, slid my phone into my bag, and joined the line. As I stepped forward, my mother called again. I didn't answer. For the first time in years, Christmas Eve moved forward without me holding it together. I checked my phone hours later, not because I missed them, but because I wanted to see what happened when I didn't intervene. The group chat was no longer celebrating. "Why didn't you tell us she never agreed?" my brother wrote. "My sister followed. I planned everything based on what you said." My mother answered both of them at once. She changed her mind at the last minute. I felt my jaw tighten. I typed. Then stopped. For once, the story wasn't mine to correct. My phone rang again. I answered this time. Her face filled the screen, flushed and tight. Behind her, a child screamed. Another cried. "Someone knocked something over." "You embarrassed me," she said, skipping hello. "Do you know what this looks like?" "I know what it is," I said. "It's the plan you made without me." "You're being selfish," she snapped. "Everyone's exhausted. So am I," I said. I just stopped hiding it. She shook her head. "I didn't think you'd actually leave." "That's the problem," I replied. "You never thought I would." She went quiet, not angry this time, cornered. "I need help," she said finally. "You needed consent," I said, and ended the call before she could say my name again. The messages kept coming after that. I didn't respond. I let the chaos stay where it belonged. 2 weeks passed before my mother called again. This time, she didn't start with blame. "Christmas fell apart," she said quietly. "Your brother and sister fought all night. The kids were everywhere. I told everyone you promised, and they asked why I spoke for you. I didn't rush to comfort her." "And what did you say?" I said. "I assumed," she admitted. "I always do." There was a long pause. Then, softer. "I didn't realize how much you were carrying until you weren't there. I wasn't trying to punish anyone," I said. "I just stopped fixing it." "I know," she replied. "And I don't want you here out of obligation anymore." I let that sit. If you ask me to help, you ask. You don't volunteer me. And if I say no, that's the end of it. "I can do that," she said, not confidently, but honestly. A few days later, my sister texted, "We're thinking about a spring barbecue. No childcare expectations, just people. You in?" I stared at the message, then smiled. If this story felt familiar, you're not alone. Share it with someone who's always expected to hold everything together. Sometimes the most powerful boundary is simply not showing up the way you used to. I set my phone down, finally certain of one thing. I hadn't disappeared to hurt them. I left so I could come back as myself.